Hello, I'm Pearl Fontaine. Welcome to National Focus. Topping the headlines, Governor of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank addresses the Treaty of Bastia luncheon. Dominica's aggressive foreign policy yields results, so says PM Skerritt. And Dominica Association in St. Thomas makes donation towards keeping Dominica clean and green. All these stories and more when National Focus returns.
Documentaries and in-depth discussions, community walkthroughs, and Yes We Care. See it all on GIS Channel 7, Channel 7, Channel 7, Channel 7, Channel 7, Channel
7. Welcome back. Time now for the details of the news. Dominicans living in St. Thomas have done their part in ensuring that Dominica is kept clean and green year-round. On Thursday, the Dominica Association of St. Thomas made a presentation of brush cutters to 5 village councils on the island. The presentation came following a request made to the Association of St. Thomas by the Tetmon Village Council. The association raised the necessary funds and made the purchase of the brush cutters at a cost of $650 US. President of the association, Vincent St. Luce, made the donation on behalf of the visiting group.
The idea for this project came from one of the local authority members here, Mr. Barnabas Abraham, chairman of the Tetmon Village Council, consulted me some months ago and told me that he wanted a trimmer for his village council. I took that message back to my group, and we decided without any difficulty to proceed with that measure. But there were cheers, there were shouts from other members of the group, what about my community, what about? And we finally decided that we should extend it to at least 5 communities.
Liaison Officer for Diaspora Affairs in St. Thomas, Honorable Laureen Bannis-Roberts, was instrumental in lobbying for the brush cutters. She has advised recipients to make good use of the tools.
To the chairpersons of the 5 village councils present, please ensure that you take good care of these trimmers. A lot of effort was made by members of the Dominica Association of St. Thomas in securing these valuable gifts for you. I know that as of Monday, November 5th, during the Community Day of Service, these machines will be put to good use. You will now find the task of keeping your community well clean, and this work that you have to do to keep your communities clean will be made much easier with the injection of these trimmers in your community.
Both the Minister for Diaspora Affairs, Honorable Colin McIntyre, and Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Social Services, Community Development and Gender Affairs, Esther Thomas, are encouraged by this timely gesture.
Very often people go away, they forget their native island, and they're not serious about it. But you are testimony to the fact that you are very serious about developing Dominica. And we must commend you for that and thank you for that.
And what nicer gesture to say to people, please keep your community clean and green with this trimmer. You have focused on a very important part, cleanliness. We sometimes say cleanliness is next to godliness. So I think you're very focused in what you're presenting here today, and we recognize that. And to the authorities who are receiving them, we want to see you then as the winners of this year's National Day Cleanup and Beautification, because you have trimmers, you don't have to use cutlass this year. So we're looking forward to see these 5 local authorities be winners of our campaign, Cleanup and Beautification this year. We do have the prizes this year, so we are looking forward to give them to you all.
Representatives of the 5 village councils said thanks on behalf of their individual communities. They have all promised to make effective use of the machines and aspire to be the best kept village in Dominica.
We appreciate the fact that this morning we could have received that on behalf of our community. And seeing that last year Paybush came out second in beautification, this year I can assure you with your brushes that Paybush will be number 1. So thank you very much.
This
gift, I can assure you, is going to be put to good use. And not only for the Day of Community Service. We're going to use it from January to December, I can tell you that much. Because we try to get this brush cutter because what we want to do is to prevent. You see, like everybody depends on central government to come cleaning the roadside. What we want to do at Tetbon Mountain, Grand Colibri, is to have a big flower garden and the yard from the bottom of the village to the top, so that government doesn't have to come to brush cut for us. So we're going to put it into maximum use. We came second last time, but we're not even looking for competition. What we're looking for is for all year-round beauty in the village.
The Dominica Association of St. Thomas is this year celebrating 20 years as an overseas-based organization. Dominica's head of state will bestow a Meritorious Service Award on the group on November 3rd, 2012, for its contribution to Dominica's social development. The association has made donations to the Princess Margaret Hospital, the Grotto Home for the Homeless, various communities, assisted Dominicans in need, and more recently made a significant contribution to the Yes We Care program. In more news, representatives from 6 financial institutions in Dominica and the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank were the participants of a Treaty of Bastia luncheon held at the Fortune Hotel on Wednesday. The CIBC, First Caribbean Bank, Aid Bank, Bank of Nova Scotia, Royal Bank of Canada, National Cooperative Credit Union and sponsor, the Dominica National Bank, partnered to make Financial Information Month possible in October. The month of activities was officially closed with a discussion led by Governor of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, Sir K. Dwight Venner. Chairman of the National Bank of Dominica, Anthony John, opened the ceremony with remarks centering on the revised Treaty of Bastia.
A treaty which establishes the OECS Economic Union and which will come into full effect in July of 2013. Today's event will close off the activities for this year's Financial Information Month. And the National Bank of Dominica Limited would like to take this opportunity to extend our congratulations to the Eastern Caribbean Bank and all participating financial institutions for observing another successful month under the theme, Challenge Yourself, Innovate, Compete, Succeed. It was Dr. Denzil Douglas, the Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, who said that the OECS Economic Union will be instrumental in enabling its people to achieve sustainable growth and development and realize significant improvements in the quality of life of their people for years to come.
Sir K. Dwight Venner discussed the treaty from various angles, beginning with talk about the current global financial crisis. He explained that after the initial shock of the economic distress, the Caribbean began to feel the effects 18 months later. Likewise, after it had passed, the region will experience relief about the same time after. OECS leaders therefore had enough time to analyze the situation and put reactive measures in place through the treaty's revision.
Years ago, we had determined that we had to upgrade the Treaty of Bastia, which was established in 1981. And we had tinkered around with it until we saw this crisis coming. And then, as we do in the Caribbean, we upped the progress and finally got this new treaty into existence. What is remarkable about this is that in the region, we do not miss our deadlines. But for the revised Treaty of Bastia, all the deadlines were met. Every single deadline was met. And then with respect to freedom of movement of people, in terms of the Parent Act, that too was passed on, I think, the 1st of August. And the Assembly, which was the other part of the whole arrangement, that also The deadline was slipped a bit, but it was done.
Sir Venner went on to clarify that the move to unify the Caribbean region has its roots in the concept of strength in numbers.
Integration by agreement and negotiation is what states do to enhance their capacity for growth. But integration has several facets. You can start with a preferential area, you move to a free trade area, a customs union, a common market, an economic union, and then, if the political will is there, full political integration. And therefore you create a new state in the process. So integration can be wide, meaning you have a lot of countries, or it can be deep, meaning you move to an economic union or political union. And so the OECS, in terms of what we've done, is that of course we can't capture anybody, neither do we desire to, but we've decided that we'll make common cause with the countries next to us and have as deep an integration arrangement as is possible. So that the revised treaty is a response to these new challenges.
Sir Venner's presentation ended with an open mic question and answer segment. The luncheon discussion marked the end of October as Financial Information Month. In other news, Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit has told visiting overseas-based nationals that they can make a greater contribution to Dominica's development. The Prime Minister, in addressing a special forum organized by the Regional Integration and Diaspora Unit of the Ministry of Employment, Trade, Industry and Diaspora Affairs on Wednesday, suggested that nationals residing overseas should avail themselves to Dominica in areas such as political and community service.
We're saying to you here, my dear brothers and sisters, that you must avail yourself to Dominica. And I have said publicly that I believe while you may not be able to get elected to the Parliament of Dominica because you live overseas and you may not be able to service your constituency as we do in this party, but why shouldn't you serve as a senator in the Parliament if you have a particular talent and skill that you can bring to the Parliament in terms of your contribution to the country's development?
The Prime Minister noted that overseas nationals should find creative ways of utilizing their skills and talents in Dominica. The country's leader said nothing should preclude Dominicans living abroad from making a contribution to Dominica.
Why can't we have you, if you live in St. Thomas or Antigua or the US, be on a board that you can join by video conference and make a contribution? That the concerns and the views and the suggestions that you have on the World Criminology Festival, why can't we use you on the committee? And by teleconference or video conference, you can make a contribution. So you don't necessarily have to be living in Dominica, as much as we would love for you to be here, so we can see all your beautiful faces and your smiles every day. But nothing precludes you from making a contribution to Dominica while you live out of Dominica.
Dominica's aggressive foreign policy is yielding positive results. That point has been emphasized by Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, who has identified the election of Dr. Carissa Etienne as Director of the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO, as a concrete example of the dynamic foreign policy being employed by his administration. The Prime Minister made reference to this when he addressed a group of visiting nationals on Wednesday.
And you'll be surprised the kind of countries which came forward very early on, notwithstanding the relationship they may have had with Ecuador or Costa Rica, and say, because of the exceptional relationship that we have with Dominica, we shall support your candidate. And some countries not only say they would support the candidate, they made available financial resources for the campaign. And that's as a result, my dear brothers and sisters visiting home, of a very ambitious, very progressive, very aggressive foreign policy that this government has been embarking upon for the last 13 years.
The Prime Minister emphasized that Dominica's foreign policy is based on sincerity and openness and will continue to be the driving force of the country's national policy.
And our foreign policy is based on sincerity, and openness. We don't go playing games with nations. If a country comes to us and say, we'd like you to support us on a particular matter, if we know that we cannot support you, we'll say we cannot support you.
The Prime Minister says Dominica will continue its stance on foreign policy as decisions are being taken in the best interest of the country. In other news, the National Youth Rally will be held at the Windsor Park Sports Stadium on November 2nd from 9 a.m. as part of activities to mark Dominica's 34th anniversary of independence. Welcome remarks will come from 2012 Carnival Queen Miss Nadira Lando. Outstanding performer at the 2012 CXC examinations, Leah Dodds, will be the youth speaker at Friday's Youth Rally. This year, the rally will feature performances from the Pierre Charles Secondary School, a drumming ensemble, and ballet presentation will also form part of the official program. The Honourable Minister for Culture, Youth and Sports, Justina Charles, will deliver an address. The Wills Strathmore Stevens Primary School will lead a patriotic song titled I Vow to Thee, My Country. As customary, students attending the rally will hear an address by Minister for Education and Human Resource Development, Honourable Peter Sejean. A number of students will be presented with awards for excellence in academics and sports. The youth rally will culminate with the march past and drill displays by representatives of schools throughout the island. Prime Minister Honourable Roosevelt Skerritt will take the salute. The event will be hosted by Dion Durand and Julian Paquette. And that's the English segment of the news. We now join McPherson St. Luce for the Creole highlights.
Bienvenue à ces nouvelles en créole. Non, moi, c'est McPherson St. Luce. Premièrement, Premier ministre Honorable Roosevelt Skerritt, car remercier Dominicains qui vivent l'autre pays pour manier ou attendre meeting ou la cabinet joint et puis ça a créé diaspora meeting. Sinon, Premier ministre Skerritt, dialogue comme ça que le gouvernement ça a commencé check temps qui passé, car gouvernement et puis ces Dominicains là opportunité pour discuter manière pour continuer pour ces pays-là devant et puis développement. Il y a le département et puis institution gouvernement qui représenté en parmi Banque Nationale Dominique, National Cooperative Credit Union, département immigration et puis la douane, Discover Dominic Authority, Invest Dominic Authority et puis sécurité sociale de la Dominique. Dialogue mercredi te tient about them partnering for further progress and development. Notre nouvelle association dominicaine qui vit à St. Thomas fait présentation équipement brush cutters pour 5 villages council tout le pays là. Présentation là prend place pendant une cérémonie qui était prend place en l'occasion Public Service Union en Rose aujourd'hui. Parole sortie hors président association là Vincent St. Luce, ministère diaspora Honorable Dr. John Colin McIntyre, officier liaison Madame Lauren Bernice Roberts, et puis permanent secrétaire ministre Development Community Esther Thomas. Tous ces officiers-là qui assistent conseil-là pour service et équipement-là à une bonne manière. Ces officiers conseil-là aussi remercient l'association-là pour cadeau-là et puis assurer qu'ils servent à une bonne manière. En même temps aussi, officier qui a liaisé les affaires diaspora, Madame Lauren Bernice Roberts, bien plaisir pour travailler et puis l'association là, il fait contribution là.
C'est un plaisir pour moi ici aujourd'hui. Et aujourd'hui, ça qui fait ici, c'est Dominica Association of St. Thomas. Ils ont délivré 5 brush cutters by 5 village council en Dominique. Ils ont St. Joseph, Vickers, Tetmon, Dodan, Pebush, avec Petite Soufrière. Ils ont 5 brush cutters. Comme ça, le Premier ministre là, il a fait un spécial appel pour Monchen Dominique, very net avec vet. So association là décidé pour baser village comme ça, brush cutter ça pour aider yo avec community yo pour faire travail yo pour pas ani pour community of service mais pour one année là. Avec content hot president là tous les années yo qui fait contribution ça là pour ces différents village councils là. Nous comptons Mania Ministry, Mrs. Esther Thomas et Dr. McIntyre qui est ministre diaspora. Nous comptons Mania yo parler et bien yo kan embrasser ça qui a point place aujourd'hui. Il était autant effort pour ces moun mettre l'argent ensemble en Saint-Thomas pour gagner ces bagailles-là. Paul Alexander, nous free transportation, so nous les remercions pour ça. Et bien, moi, je dis comment Dominica Association of Saint-Thomas, c'est une organisation qui est bien forte. Et bien, il a fait tout le bagaille en Saint-Thomas, en USBI, pour faire les gens connaître contre Dominique. Il a point part of cultural activities, il a danser, il a fait manger Dominique, il a fait tout ça au pays. Comme vous savez, actuellement c'est temps indépendance avec une grande masse en célébration. On the 11th of November, il y a dans Holy Family Church, avec tout Dominicain qui est là aussi. So autant qu'à point place, autant qu'à fête, c'est un plaisir pour moi de travailler avec eux.
En d'autres nouvelles, député chairman pour Dex McMurray qui a fait parole qui coopération entre ministre agriculture et puis d'autres citoyens, ça fait contribution à avancer la place production agriculture en Dominique. Monsieur Marie fait parole cela pendant la journée la place samedi qui passait en Roseau.
Pour ne pas bien marché, il faut une coopération entre tous les différents acteurs à Baïla. Comme ça, pour l'agriculture, nous avons le ministère de l'Agriculture, nous avons DPEX, nous avons différentes organisations. Toutes ces organisations-là, il y a un seul but, c'est pour produire et vendre produits Dominique, ici à Dominique même et à l'extérieur. Donc il faut donner plus de coopération, coordination. Ça, c'est l'organisation qui a fait pour avancer la production. Et ça, c'est l'organisation qui est responsable pour la vente à l'extérieur surtout. Il faut une coordination entre eux pour faire le marché. Sinon, l'agriculture, quand elle est stagnée, elle ne peut pas faire gagner toute l'argent que nous pouvons faire.
Et puis finalement, plusieurs d'autres activités qui prennent place quand Dominique a célébré 34 l'année quand on pays indépendant. Le ministre de l'Éducation a organisé un rallye pour l'école tout le pays là, qui prend place en stadium municipal. En rallye, cela il y a une cérémonie où l'officier gouvernement a délivré l'adresse et puis cadeau qui est présenté. Il y a aussi un match pass où le premier ministre a expecté pour taper salut ces étudiants là. Journée indépendante que samedi et puis cultural gala que l'après-midi. It fish day que et puis Creole in the North qui prend place dimanche. Journée service national qui prend place lundi. Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelle Creole pour à présent. Non moins c'est McPherson, St. Luce. Qu'à tout le monde en bonne saison indépendant. Au revoir.
Up next is the tip of the day.
Hello, I'm Felix Anderson, afternoon, and I'm here to tell you why it's better to buy your bag bread looking like this and not like Diabasak, a pig in a book, a cat in a bag. Come on, if it's bagged, it's got to be tagged. Let me show you what I mean. Excuse me, ma'am, you know if that bread is fresh?
Of course it's fresh. I buy it every day.
But you sure it's fresh?
You're not fresh. Excuse me.
Hey, but look at, if it's bagged, it's got to be tagged. Bakers, consumers, and retailers, please ensure that all your bagged bakery products clearly display brand name, product name, batch number, net contents, country of origin, list of ingredients, expiry date, identification code, and other important information about the product. Check the Dominica Bureau of Standards for details. So, am I right or am I right?
In today's tip, we'll discuss stress-free living. Stress is more likely to topple you if you're not taking care of yourself. So here's what you should do. Put yourself first. Then learn to relax for half an hour a day. That should bring relief from chronic stress. And eat right. A diet rich in fruits, vegetables, and whole grains can give you more energy to keep stress under control. And that's National Focus. As usual, we invite your suggestions or comments. Please feel free to drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm. Or you could visit our website at news.gov.dm, or you could visit our GIS Dominica pages on both YouTube and Facebook. On behalf of the entire news production team, I'm Pearl Fontaine. Thanks for watching.